And we are live.
Program and control. I'm a businessman. Yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh, yeah. I'm a businessman. Yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh, yeah. I'm
So
a
we're on Facebook
businessman.
and
Yes, I'm an
YouTube,
entrepreneur.
right?
YouTube, right?
Yes, we're on Facebook and YouTube.
So we're on Facebook and YouTube, right? YouTube, right?
Yep.
Yes,
Oh,
we're on Facebook and YouTube.
okay. So that was the end of the music. It played for a second. Well, welcome to the Business Zone, everyone. We have been away for a while and we are happy to be back. Are we not, Mr. Gilbert?
Oh yes,
Oh,
very
yeah.
very
Very,
happy.
very happy.
We're trying out this new little platform right here, so if it gets a little weird and crazy, y'all bear with us for right now. We're working our way through this process, so we'll see what it is while we are, what do they call it, safe at home and shut in
That's right. This is a new
momentarily.
look business
Right. This
zone.
is a new look business zone.
So how has everyone been? Gilbert, how have you been?
Oh man,
Oh man,
I feel like a
I feel
prisoner,
like a
man. I've been
prisoner, man. I've been
quarantined
quarantined
for like
for like
8 weeks now
eight
or
weeks
more.
now or more.
Or more. You really went quarantine. You took it to the limit.
Oh yeah.
I didn't take it
Oh,
quite to the limit. I actually came out. I had clients that I was seeing. Oh, I was safe. I was doing safe stuff, but I was out and about doing my thing. And I've been doing a number of other shows online. One other show online. So I've had a little bit more visibility. But you're a little ways from us, so that makes it a little difficult for you to get out and about.
That's true. That's true.
that's true. That's true.
Yeah. So what have you been doing? What has been
Well,
keeping you occupied in your own
Well,
home?
I've been working with a lot of small
I've been
businesses,
working with a lot
trying
of
to get
small
them ready
businesses,
for
trying
the
to get them
PPP
ready
loan program,
for the PPP loan program,
Okay.
for certifications and a lot of other
for
things.
certifications, and a lot of other things.
And how has that gone?
Well, the certification piece is great
Well,
because
the
we're helping
certification
small
piece is
businesses
great because
get their
we're helping
SBA
small
8A
businesses
certification,
get
their
their
DBE,
SBA 8A
and
certification, their
woman-owned
DBE,
certification.
and woman-owned
Uh,
certification.
as far as the
Uh,
PPP loan is
as far as the
concerned, we
PPP
were
loan is
only able
concerned, we
to
were only
assist
able
two
to
businesses
assist
in
two
applying
businesses
and obtaining their
in
PPP
applying and
loans.
obtaining their PPP loans.
Now, most small
Now,
businesses,
most small
and we've been
businesses,
trying to prep them for a long
we've been
time
trying to
now,
prep
but
them
they
for a
don't
long
have their
time now,
paperwork
but
in
they don't
order.
have
They're
their
not very
paperwork in order.
organized.
They're not very
So
organized.
that's what our job is
So
going to be today, to try to
that's
help
what
many
our
of these
job is going to
businesses
be
get
today, to
ready.
try to help these businesses get ready.
Okay. Yeah, we've been doing the same thing on our. I was doing the same thing on our side, but my stance is in the financials, and so one of the things that was recognized right away was that our businesses did not have financial reports, and they had to have that in order to apply for the PPP. So right away, I want to say the first 3 weeks, I launched a webcast, and it was actually walking everyone through the process. And we had a number of individuals from the community go out and help come in and talk about the PPP. Someone from the SBA, Ken Crawford, came from the SBA. There was a number of entities from the SBA that came out and spoke. And then we had some entities that actually, some individuals and nonprofits and for-profits that were applying. So we were walking with them through the process. And so some of them did get theirs. So every inch of the way, we walked right with them to make sure that if it was going to be available, that they were going to get it. But of course, a lot of people, the same reason that is always the case, that someone were denied because they didn't have financial reports, they didn't have payroll. they commingled their funds. So those were all of the things that everybody was complaining about, which is what everybody's always complaining about in the loan industry, right?
Right, right.
Right,
And the
right.
thing about it
And the
is,
thing about it
many
is,
businesses
many
are not
businesses
prepared
are
for
not prepared
interruption.
for interruption.
And that's
And
really what
that's
we're going to have to
really what
delve
we're
into
going to have to
today to
delve
give
into
them some
today, to give them
pointers
some
to
pointers
understand
to
why
understand
being
why
prepared
being
for business
prepared for
interruption
business
is so
interruption is
important.
so important.
Yeah, that I recognize that as well, because that's really where we are right now, is how are we going to move past the COVID. And now we got a new entity. We have another pandemic. I call it a pandemic. I call it the original pandemic, actually. And that pandemic is what we're fighting for Black Lives Matter. So
Yeah,
I think all of those things, coupled with the fact we've been down for 2.5 months, and now 3 months. It's gonna be this has been one interesting year. That's all I can say. Just
yeah,
one
yeah.
interesting
Th-
year.
Yeah.
This has created a
This has
severe
created a
impact on
severe
many
impact on
minority
many
businesses.
minority businesses.
So that's why we need to
So
provide
that's
the
why we
tools
need to
necessary
provide the
so that
tools
these
necessary
minority businesses
so
are
that
ready. Because
these minority businesses are ready. Because
many small businesses feel
many
hopeless,
small businesses feel hopeless,
and not having
and
resources or having
not having
people to
resources
support
or
them,
having
it feels like
people
they're on an
to
island by
support
themselves.
them.
So that's
It
why
feels
with
like
you and
they're
I,
on an island
Crystal,
by
helping
themselves.
them with
So
our
that's why
expertise
with you
is
and
going to
I,
be
Crystal,
really
helping them with
helpful,
our
moving
expertise
from the
is going to be
COVID phase
really
to the
helpful,
next phase.
moving from the COVID phase to the next phase.
I agree. I agree. But people have to have a very specific, definitive plan. They really, one of the things that I was promoting the whole entire for the 3 or 8 weeks or whatever we've been down, is that everybody still should have been doing things. They should have been reaching out to their clients or customers. I highly recommend. I hope everybody did. I know everybody was on every kind of Zoom meeting alive, but I also hope that these individuals took advantage of training courses in order to emphasize skills that they lacked in order to run their business, because those are going to be all important. I know I had
Right.
two accounting programs or training software programs. I discovered a new, well, actually, I didn't discover it. A client of mine requested that I teach her how to do her books on this particular software. So, in that, I discovered a new software to train. So, I've been training on that for the last 4 weeks. I got two classes that was going on. Both of them ended this week. And so, I got about 9 people who are now getting their financials together, and now they're getting ready to apply for the PPP as well.
Very good. Very good. So
Very good.
one of
Very
the things
good.
we want to do
So
is to
one of
help
the things we want
as
to do is to
many
help as many
minority firms as
minority
possible
firms as
be
possible
ready and be
be
prepared
ready and be
to
prepared
apply for this
to
PPP loan,
apply for this
and also to
PPP
run their
loan,
business
and
so
also
they
to run
can
their business so they
apply for
can
opportunities
apply for
on the spot.
opportunities on the spot.
Yes, I think that's where they should be. Now there's some, we got we we didn't got received so many updates for the loan forgiveness. Now that's the next challenge, and this is where the financial piece is going to come in,
Yeah.
because the information that is going to be required in order to get these loans forgiven. They changed the formula, but the formula is just incredible. And so a number of people were trying to hire people on, but the PPP is the new change that just came out last week. But I think there's another one that just happened yesterday. But the one that came out last Friday was that they were going to, instead of 75% forgiveness, is now 60% forgiveness. They were going to extend the
What?
time to 24 months. But however, yeah, so they changed the time frame. But so here's the explanation I was given, or how I read it or understood it. So your payroll, if you had 10 employees, And when you, in the report that you gave them, the 941 that you gave them, then you are expected to have those same 10 employees at that same rate. And if only 9 come back because they've gone off to get another job, or unemployment was too good for them, or they just don't want to come back because they're not feeling safe, then you have to pay back, because they're gonna have they would have paid you for 10, and they want you to, and you only have 9, so now you got to reimburse the 10, the one person to make up that 10.
That is unbelievable. See, that's so unfair to small business. And, that is why there's so much conflict going on out there right now, because they make things so difficult for small businesses, and the bigger businesses get to fly.
Yeah, well,
These are guys who are getting
you're
grants.
absolutely right. Yes. So those individuals that received the 20 million and all those humongous amounts in the very beginning when they first launched the PPP, their whole loan is completely forgiven. They don't have to show any documentation. Now, I do know a new law just came, or another change took place that they're trying to, let me correct that. It didn't happen yet. They are on the floor now is another revision, and that new revision is that if less than 150,000, then just go ahead and forgive that.
Right.
But that still has to go to the floor for and it's got to be signed off by the commander in chief.
So those guys are not going to be in favor of that, because their friends are not getting any benefits from it.
Right. So it's going to be very, very interesting. But they did, like I said, they've extended it. They don't have to pay it back for 5 years. They have 24 months, because at one point it was 8 weeks from the day they hired. They had to start to supply their paperwork and documentation, but now they've pushed that back to 24 weeks, and they don't have to pay it back and for 5 years. That's where it is right now. But here's the interesting piece. So to fill out the paperwork is going to require a CPA or a tax attorney in order to help you with this, right? So none of those guys work for free.
Small business.
Right. But none of those costs, including bookkeeping costs, none of those are included in the definition of the 25%, or now the 30% that it's part of the operating expenses. The only thing that's included in that is mortgage interest, rent, and utilities. That's it.
That is so bogus.
So bogus, man. No other expenses. And look at the number of businesses that had to purchase plexiglass and things in order to be ready for social distancing and safe, making sure their businesses were safe for customers. So we'll see. Next week, gyms are opening, and bars are supposed to be opening, and schools are supposed to be opening, and something else is supposed to be opening. That's what's supposed to happen next week.
So they should be factoring not only that businesses have to purchase the plexiglass, but also to buy plywood to board up their business from looters.
Yeah, no, that ain't included in none of that. that needs to be another financial grant, because that had nothing to do with coronavirus. So that's another issue that a business owner has. Now, here's the thing. The silver lining to that is, if someone looted your business, someone broke your glass in your business, and you had to buy plywood and everything to board it up, now your insurance, your casualty insurance should kick in. also for fires and theft and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So, which
Yeah, but
gives
those
you rise
insurance
to
guys,
think.
they don't want to. They don't want to help out either.
Right. So we are in very interesting times. Here's what I think. We should have went to bed on December 31st. Woke up on January 1st, 2021. That's what should have happened.
That would be nice. At least we'll be 1 year younger.
We'd be 1 year younger and none the wiser.
And hopefully by then Trump would have been out of office, right?
Yeah, Trump would have been out. It's been there you go. 20. Well, maybe we should have woke up on the 1st. Maybe we should have
February
wake up
2021.
February 2021. But we had to wake up because we had to vote on November 3rd.
Yes.
Yes, we definitely have to vote on November 3rd because that's going to be important. So today, what we're gonna go ahead.
So one of the things I think we should go over with our viewers today is to go over a checklist of items that they definitely need to have in place if they want to move on from the COVID.
Yes.
So, one of the things that I have, Crystal, and can I share the screen?
Yes, you can. You froze on me. Oh, there you go.
Okay.
Yeah, it shouldn't be anything that hinders you from sharing the screen. You see it down there?
Let me know if you can see my screen. Can you see my screen?
Not yet. But let's move us to a different. Did you share?
Yeah.
Huh. I'm not seeing it.
There.
Okay, let's see if it's coming. No.
Nothing.
Nothing yet. Bear with us, guys.
Well, we'll just talk about the checklist then.
Okay.
Since
Unless you
this
wanna
is
try
a
to
new
send it to
technology
me.
that we're exploring today.
You want to try sending it to me?
Oh, sure. Let me send it to you.
Yeah, email it over to me and I'll see if I can pull it up.
So
we're coming along,
So one
guys.
of the things that we're talking about making sure.
I got it. There you go.
You got it?
So you want to expand it? You want to share it like it's PowerPoint?
Okay. Maybe I should stop sharing and do it again.
Okay. I'll remove it.
All right. So I just hit stop.
And now just do it like you're getting ready to present it as a PowerPoint.
Yeah. And somehow it's letting me do that. Oh, there we
Is
go.
it not?
There we go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you shared it. So it should pop up in a minute. I think there's a little bit of a delay.
Yeah. So let me share it again. I gotta go back and share it.
Okay.
And just let
But you know,
me know
even though
if you see it up there.
Okay, it just came over. But you know, even with all of the uncertainties that's going on right now, I think is a pretty exciting time. And I think if we really embrace it for what it is, that okay, I see your screen, but
See
I
my
don't
screen?
see the
See my
PowerPoint.
screen?
I see the screen. We're sharing that. No?
You see it?
You see it?
Oh, there you go. But okay. Oh, here it comes. There it is. Technology, guys. New technology. we'll edit that piece out.
All right. So let's see here. Good. So in preparing yourself to be business ready and contract ready, these are some of the things that we want you on the business zone to be able to have ready and available. So first thing you want to do is to review your business structure. So whether you are a sole proprietor, partnership, LLC, S Corp, or C Corp, you want to make sure that you have all your key documents that relate to each one of those business sectors. So if you're a sole proprietor, and we'll start out with that right now. If you're a sole proprietor, you want to make sure you have your fictitious business name ready and available. No expired fictitious business name. Your business license. You want to make sure you have your federal tax ID and not using your social security number. Don't ever use your social security number. Make sure you have your Dun & Bradstreet number available. And if you don't know how to apply for those, then you can reach out to us here at the Business Zone and we will guide you. If you're in construction, you want to make sure you have a contractor's license. A valid contractor's license. And if you're in business, say you're in a food business or any other business that requires a permit, make sure you have those permits in place. Now, if you are a corporation or an LLC, make sure that you have your article of incorporation as an S Corp or C Corp, and as an LLC have your articles of organization. As an LLC, you also want to make sure you have your operating agreement in place. Okay. So once you've done that, make sure that you have the required insurance for your business, general liability insurance. Now, many businesses operate without insurance, but they're taking a risk. So I want to make sure that you have the insurance. So should something go down, your insurance will cover some of those damages. And then if you're going after government contract, which is what we're trying to get you to do right now, because since most of your customers are not spending money to purchase from you directly, you may want to start looking at government contracts. And if you do that, then if you're a woman-owned business, you want to make sure you're woman-owned certified. That means it's a WBE certification or WOSB. And if you're in the county or the city of Los Angeles, you want to make sure you have a CBE, which is Community-Based Business Enterprise Certification. or a DBE with Metro or the City of
or
Los
a
Angeles,
DBE with Metro or the City of
or
Los
your
Angeles,
SBE with the
or your
city,
SBE
the
with the
Port of
city,
Long Beach, the Port of Los
the Port of
Angeles,
Long Beach, the Port of
or
Los
Metropolitan
Angeles,
Water District.
or Metropolitan Water District.
Once you have those in
Once
place,
you have those in place,
then you can reach out to us here at the Business Zone,
then you can reach out to
and
us here at the Business Zone,
we can take
and
a look at the
we
financials,
can
your
take a
financial
look at the
statement, to make sure you have the
financials, your
right
financial statement, to
documents in
make sure you
place.
have the right documents in place.
You want to make sure you have your balance
You
sheet,
want to make
your
sure you have your
profit and
balance sheet,
loss,
your profit and loss,
and a statement of cash
and a
flow.
statement of cash flow.
Now, Crystal will
Now,
address
Crystal
the
will
balance
address
sheet, the
the balance
P&L,
sheet,
and the
the
statement of cash
P&L,
flow
and the
and
statement of cash
taxes
flow
for you,
and
because
taxes for
that's
you,
her area
because
of
that's her
expertise. So,
area of
Crystal,
expertise. So, Crystal,
do you want to deal with that?
you want to deal with that?
So pretty much you want to make sure that, so one of the things that you have to prove once you got received your for your PPP, the corona or pandemic disaster relief funds for that, they want to make sure that there's a certain percentage that is going toward your payroll. So the number originally was 75%, as we said earlier, and now it's been reduced to 60%. But you have to make sure that these have to be employees. They cannot be 1099 contractors. They have to be actual employees that you have on payroll, and that you have a payroll company actually processing your payroll, and you have accessibility to the 941s, and you're getting that 941 on a quarterly basis. So that's important. And then next, they want to see your financials as it relates to your operating expense. But as I said earlier, rent and your mortgage interest, and your mortgage and your utilities. And now, though, there are obviously other expenses to running a business, and so your balance sheets will actually show. Because here's the thing that I'm thinking: when it's all said and done, what you don't get from, or you are not able to write off or have forgiven, now you can turn back in 2021 for 2020, write these losses off on your tax returns. So it's really important to keep track of everything right now, because you're spending money. If you are a restaurant, then you've had to make sure that you are, you have your plexiglass, you have your mask, you have your gloves, and all those things have to be replenished every day for their employees. Here's some interesting tips. There are certain businesses, like I have a friend that my girlfriend was an HR manager out at the airport. So, right in the very beginning of the pandemic, flights just reduced down to nothing, right? Because everybody was fearful of getting on a plane. So Southwest is the terminal she was in. She managed the food concession stands that were in that terminal. So the top producing terminal was the top producing restaurant, fast food place was Chick-fil-A. They made somewhere like $15,000-$20,000 a day, right? They were reduced down to $250 or $2,000 a day, from
Wow.
20,000, 24,000 down to $2,000, and it was really just the employees that worked in the airport and also the construction workers outside. So they had to lay off 500 employees, and my girlfriend was one of those. So, and here's the caveat for them: they're not even a United States company. They're companies based out of Canada. So there was no funding, no funding for them. So it was so many different things that were going on, that nuances that one could not have fathomed what that really looked like because who has been in a pandemic, right? Last pandemic was in 1900s. We weren't even thought of. Our grandparents was, but our grandparents also didn't work like we did.
Right.
So thank you, Carlos. Carlos says, keep up the great work, you two. We appreciate it, Carlos. So those were just some of the things. So your financials. Now, this is what I do. I know, and I can't tell you how many times you and I on this show, and every time anyone hears me speak, what is the one thing that we tell people all the time?
Always make sure your financials are in order.
Right. So, because you never know when you're going to need them. And here we come. We got the biggest pandemic in the entire world, because the whole entire world is involved in this. And again, we don't have our financials together. And here's the sad part, Gilbert. So, because it was happening and people at this time didn't have any money, hey Linda, I actually did a discounted training for 4 weeks. Some people got 6 weeks because I just felt that they needed it. And I charged $60, $69 for that. And the program was totally free, so it wasn't QuickBooks. It was totally free to them. All they had to do was pay my training fee, which was, I was probably at $5 an hour at that point because it was a 2-hour training, and I trained 9 people.
Right.
So, and I know more than 9 people had more problems because I got that information from Vermont Slauson, Lindustry, because I was actually in conversation with all the entities that were actually doing the loan. So that's on us. The one thing that if we can't stress to everyone anymore that from here on out we have to do good business. That's what we have to do. We have to do business like a pro, because there will be another pandemic at the end of the year.
I totally endorse that, Crystal. And as small businesses, we got to make sure we're much more responsible. Because I say this over and over.
Yes.
Small businesses are treated like, the red-headed stepchild. They don't really care about us. You see what I mean? So we got to be ready. We got to look out for our best interest and be ready at all times.
Yes. Yeah, Carlos, there seems to be an echo. We all have to figure out what that is. Maybe we have to have headphones. We're trying this new platform called SteamYard. And I don't know whether it's coming from my side or from Gilbert's side, but I do hear it as well.
Yeah, it's from my side.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. Somebody hear us on the air and they want to call to talk about their financial.
Tell them they have to go on and watch us online, and they're gonna have to chat with us because we don't have that. We're not in the studio. Great, Carlos. You can show us the tips and trips for SteamYard. We're not in the studio, so you can't call us, but you can certainly go to our Facebook page, the Business Zone, and you can certainly go to our YouTube channel, and you can chat away with us over there. But you got to type it.
Yeah, they can.
And while I'm at that,
send us a message on
Messenger. Yeah, they can send us a message. Right, via Messenger. And also, we want to make sure, guys, you're subscribing to our YouTube channel. That way you'll get notification. So go to our channel, the Business Zone with Crystal and Gilbert, and hopefully you're there already. And just hit that little subscription button and hit the notification button while you're there. And that way we can make sure when you will get that you will get notification. And Carlos says, folks, they are the real deal. Follow both of them. Thank you, Carlos. We appreciate it.
Thank you. And while
we're gonna tell you the truth.
We definitely need to let people know who Carlos is and what Carlos does, because Carlos is going to become a very critical part of our show starting next week.
very critical part of our show starting next week.
So,
Yeah, we
so
got some really.
Carlos,
We're gonna. This is a good time.
So,
Like I.
so Carlos,
Go ahead.
he, yeah, he runs a company called FYI Technologies,
he runs a
and
company called
what
FYI
FYI Technologies does,
and
they help
what
you
FYI
to
Technologies
develop your
they
website.
help
They help to
develop your website.
get
They
rid of
help
malicious
to
malware and
get rid of
viruses from
malicious
your computers.
malware and viruses from your
And
computers.
he has helped me in a lot of
And
ways with my
he has helped
system.
me in a lot
As,
of ways with my system.
as a matter of
As,
fact, my
as a
my
matter of
computer was
fact,
working
my
very
computer
slowly
was working very
yesterday,
slowly
and
yesterday,
I call him,
and I
and
call
from
him,
a remote
and from
remote
a
location,
remote
he was able to
location,
log
he
into
was
my
able to
computer and
log
help
into
me.
my computer and help me.
Ah.
So he's the real deal, man.
He's the real
Carlos is
deal,
the real
man.
deal.
Carlos is the real deal.
Yeah, thank you, Carlos. Yeah, you got to have a good computer, man. One of my friends, right during the pandemic, she goes, "Oh my God, my computer's crashing." I said, when I went and bought my computer, I told them, this is a workhorse. I use my computer every single day, and these are the things that I do. So, what is the product that I can buy that I'm not gonna have that problem with? So I love my computer. It is truly a workhorse. So let's talk about this, Gilbert, because we're been 30 minutes into our show. Where should we be going right now? Actually, in addition to what you were talking about, there's other components that should have been going on as well, and some people really took advantage of it. Everybody should be visual right now, and I know I have been on so many YouTube Zoom calls. I've hosted Zoom calls. In fact, yesterday I was on Zoom. I had a training. No, I had my briefing at 11, and it's called the COVID Community View for briefing. So if you guys want to know what's going on in that space, I'm there every Thursday morning from 11 to 12. Then right behind that, I had another call with some of the Black technology people. And then in between that, I had an interview with the kids that I am doing Biz Camp with, because now we have completely done a 360. We were talking about canceling Biz Camp for the kids. We are now doing Biz Camp virtually. So it's going to be a 30-day program, same program, but done virtually. So learning how to pivot, man. I told somebody the other day, if you are female and you took ballerina lessons, boy, ballet lessons, this is a pivot of all pivots.
That's right. And many small businesses right now, they may not have done business online before or virtually, but now is a time where you got to start thinking of that, setting up appointments online, conducting your meetings, whether it's by Zoom or Skype or whatever. But you need to do those things. And while you're conducting business this way, you want to find out what need your customers have so you can solve it for them. Now, if you've lost out on clients, just like Crystal mentioned earlier, let's say your clientele went down to 10%. You may want to start looking at government contracts. Because that's the only area right now where they haven't totally put a moratorium on.
A kibosh. Right.
Yeah.
And one of the other things, so here's what I did when, right after, but again, we're kind of atypical, and I think Carlos probably fits in that. Linda just launched her new show called Married Tribe 55, Couples Only. We are a little bit different because I was already online. Right? I was already in the process last year and the last 2 years, I have been planning for my business to be online. And so I had already taken that step. So it wasn't really a hard move for me. But what I did do was I had to say, what do my clients need right now? What is the general overall concern for the small business owners that are in the South LA, which is my demographics and which is where I am? What are the needs that they have? So I addressed it right away. I was like, wow, they need to be able to have as much information coming at them during this time frame every week, so that they're not feeling isolated and they're not feeling confused about what's going on. So right away, I quickly launched the briefing, and then from there, it just kind of mushroomed, and then I started reaching out and having people call me. And so now I got a number of clients they just needed to have someone to consult with them. So in order to help guide them through the process. So you can do the same thing. You can do where you actually are thinking about your client. Don't think about you right now. Think about your customer. Thinking about your client. What is the thing that they need right now? If I'm a hairdresser,
even if you can't come up with what you think they need, send a survey to them. Ask them what is it they need right now that can really help them to start generating revenue.
Yeah. You have to really stop to think. So if I was a hairdresser right now, the number of women that can't get to hairstylists, get to their hairstylists, get to their grooming, I would have been on Zoom or Facebook Live, or even if I had to send direct videos and emails to my client, I would have been over there giving them all kinds of tips. I would have loved to have tips from somebody, the people that do my nails, on how was I supposed to get my gels off. I had to go do all kinds of research. So those were just the basics. How you get gels off, and then how you make your hands look decent during the time frame that you in lockdown. So it was just you're really taking time out to think, what does this really mean, and what am I what problems are my clients having, and how can I help them? And that way you kept an ongoing conversation going with your clients. So when you do get back, you're not starting from scratch again. So that's some of the things that we should have been doing, and we still can be doing right now. I would jump into gear right now.
You know what, Crystal? What we could probably do right now is just have some of the listeners just type in the chat section some of the challenges they're having and things that they need to overcome within this COVID problem.
Okay, we can definitely do that.
We got about 15 minutes left, so we figure that might help.
Linda's asking me what device am I using. The platform that I'm using for us to do the show is called StreamYard, and then my computer. That's what I'm using. StreamYard, yeah. And if you notice,
we're getting a little echo on here, so we're working that out, okay?
Linda thinks that is your phone on, or maybe you should turn the sound down on your computer. Maybe that might help.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah.
I just turned it down. There. It's all down.
There.
It's all down.
Okay. Oh, there you go. Is that better?
I'm still getting delays though.
Yeah, I don't know what the delay part is.
No, I'm still getting some delays. But we'll work it out for the next show.
We'll work it out, guys. We're trying this platform. If this one don't work, we'll be over at Zoom. But I think we should be able to get this to work. Let's see. Oh, I'm using a webcam, Linda. It shouldn't be blurry because I'm on mine all the time. But let me know if it's still blurry. I just adjusted it. So yeah, everybody, if you are thinking right now, if you're having some challenge, let us know. Reach out to us and let us know what they are. Maybe we can give you some suggestions. I literally am on call. I'm on call 24/7 with. I'm talking with all the chambers, with a number of the entities that are processing the loans. So I have a direct line, and I can get some information for you. For any of you that are having problems with your PUA, which was the pandemic unemployment assistance, I have a direct line there that can help. And so we could do all of that, right? So just let me know what you want to do and how you want to do it, and if you need help, because this is the time that you shouldn't be afraid to ask for assistance. This is the time when you should be asking for assistance. So reach out to us. That's why we're here. So Gilbert, you had some. What else should we be thinking about? What do you think we should be doing once the pandemic is over?
Well,
Also,
the first thing I would say is for the small businesses to have record keeping in place. That's a big part. So, I am willing to do this. I'm going to gift you guys a registration to my patent pending system. If you guys don't use it, then it's on you. But I'm giving you access to a record keeping system that you can use to manage your paperwork, get your certification information in order, and get your business ready so you can apply for PPP loan, or you can go after contract opportunity. So here's what I'm doing right here. I want you to email me. There's my email that I popped up on the screen. Send me an email, and I will give you guys free access to my system. So you can go in and do your paperwork and your back office management for free. And this offer is only good for 10 days.
All right, guys. So you got 10 days, and we're still. No, Coach. They need skin in the game. That's what Linda says. You see her message right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
She goes. They need skin in the game.
That's right, and I agree.
So I agree.
I totally agree, Linda.
Yeah, I think you.
That's why I'm only giving them 10 days. They don't use it in 10 days. That's it. That's a thing called the
type it in the comment one. You have to charge them more. Yeah. No, I think people are receiving. And remember this, Gilbert, and I'm going to have to tell you like I tell my clients, that right now there are people making more money than they did when they were doing their own business. So people got money, so charge them.
Right.
Because some people are doing really well, but I think that's one of the things that we need to get in familiar. We need to get them comfortable with is paying for the services, because that's where we all are, right? We just like them. Our businesses are not visible to other people as well. I mean, it affected us as well. So everybody should know that we're in business to make money, and so therefore they shouldn't have a problem. If the value is there, then by all means they should be open to paying for that. So I say your product has a value to it, and it needs to be paid for. And if they want it bad enough, and it's really about, are you really? Because right now, here's the thing, guys. this pandemic, the coronavirus
COVID-19.
pandemic really showed, yeah, it really showed the weaknesses in our businesses.
Yes, yes, it
Because
did.
any business that is forced to shut down right now, your weakness became blatant. And
Yeah,
if your business is going to survive for the future, it needs to be, you need to put the things in place, you need to put the systems in place, you need to put the structure in place that will make sure that your business can survive and that it can survive the next pandemic. So we can no longer half do business. We have to do business in its entirety. We have to
yeah.
put what we need to do in place to make sure that that we can survive anything. That's what I
I
say.
totally agree. I totally agree.
I totally agree.
Because this was no joke. And I have businesses that are much more confident once they got their financials together. That alone will make a big change.
Oh yeah, that
And
will
then the
make you
next,
puff up your
yeah, that
chest
will make a
and
big
put some
change.
pep in your step.
And put some pep in your step.
Yeah, if you know where your money's coming from. And then the other thing is, I had so many conversations with people, and I literally helped them realize, like, wait a minute, if I told somebody last night, if you are a baker and right now you may have had to close your bakery, but you can do other things. You can go on YouTube and you can go on Zoom and you can people during this time. Everybody should have been learning how to eat healthy. So you could have created a course or a just an online webcast to talk about how to cook healthy, how to make large meals, how to stretch the dollar, all of
Yeah,
those things. And that could have been another component of your business when you came
yeah,
back, right?
yeah.
You could have taken the time out, and by now, or in an 8 week period, and all we've been doing is watching television and watching Netflix, you could have written a new book on how to make
A lot
your
of
pies or
restaurants
your
have
cakes or your
pivoted
greens. So
from
A
a
lot
lot of
of
restaurants have pivoted from the storefront. Now they're either delivering or they have a truck that they use,
they have a
a
truck
food truck.
that they use,
yeah,
a food truck.
yeah, or a little cart. Also, the individuals that were doing house cleaning and that kind of cleaning, they're now doing commercial cleaning for hospitals and also other businesses that now have to make sure they can't do a cursory wipe through with the mop. They got to go through and do a whole disinfectant every single night, sometimes 3 and 4 times a day. So those people were able to pivot. Some individuals were, look at all on every corner. The individuals now are selling masks and shields and things like that. So it was just thinking. It's just called thinking out the box and utilizing and recognizing that there are opportunities out there, and you just needed to come up with a solution to make it work for you.
Now, for those of our listeners and viewers who operate within the city of Los Angeles city limits, the city is offering a permit for about $241, and they'll allow you to use a mobile unit to sell your products and your services. And that's within the city of Los Angeles. So I think that's a good opportunity for you to get out and start selling your products to customers, new and potential customers.
So what are they offering, Gilbert? Are they offering
They offer
a city
them an
permit?
opportunity to sell products in a mobile format. Instead of having a storefront or doing it from their home, now they have like a little portable cart or kiosk or something that they can use, but it's mobile.
Okay.
It's mobile. So they only
So
pay
you guys should,
$241 for the permit.
So Okay.
and
And so they can go to the
sell.
city
Just like those
portal.
folks you see out there selling masks and sanitizers and all of that, they can do
So
the
I'm going
same
to
thing
put
with
the
their other
city of
products.
Los Angeles,
Yes,
the city of Los Angeles business portal
Yes,
permits for permits.
yes.
Okay.
And this is a program that the mayor is launching to help small businesses recover from the COVID business interruption.
Okay. Cool. Linda, Linda Sand, you know Linda, right?
Yeah.
Gilbert.
Linda
is saving marriages.
She's my protege.
Yeah, she's saving marriages through COVID. Because I am going to tell you, Linda, how in the world, because that's a big thing, right? How are people who are maybe not around each other 24/7, all of a sudden they with each other from sun up to sundown? I imagine some marriages either broke up or some marriages are really doing well right now. Because that just being with each other 24/7 must be something else. If you were living in a household and you just imagine if you were with somebody and you didn't get along and you couldn't even leave the house. you
Well,
were
at least
stuck
they
in the
don't have
house.
to worry about them. They don't have to worry about their partner cheating on them.
You know, you don't have to worry. You know, I guess not. Yeah, because you couldn't even cheat. In fact, the side chick or the side dude gone.
So Linda, with your program, marriages 55 plus, I think you're onto something.
Yeah, I think so. And this was the best time for Linda to have launched that because they needed her.
Oh yeah. So we got 4 minutes to go. We got 4 minutes to go on the show, Crystal. Do you wanna wrap up? We just want to reiterate that Carlos.
Yeah, I want to wrap up.
FYI Technology is going to be on the show next week.
All righty. And we're going to work out our technical difficulties in between that time.
Yes.
And also tune in on Thursday, guys, for it's on Zoom and as well as on my Facebook Live. Facebook Live on my page. And we'll be talking about some other things that are dealing with COVID and the forgiveness. I have someone and then next weekend we have someone that's coming on the COVID community briefing talking about law enforcement. And so you want to tune into that as well. And just right now, Linda says candid conversation. Yeah, the time is 11 a.m. on Thursday mornings. And so you can tune in and reach out to me and I'll send you a flyer so you can get the link. It's a Zoom meeting, a Zoom webcast. And as well, Linda says her show, Candid Conversations with Conversations at 2 p.m. on Mondays, allow them to see themselves through other couples. So tune in to the Candid Conversations with Couples at 2 p.m. on Mondays. Linda, where? Is it a Zoom? Or how do they reach you? Tell us how they reach you. Also, guys, subscribe to our channel. Subscribe to our Facebook page and our Instagram so that you can get notifications that we are here. Oh, and Gilbert, guess what?
What?
Next month, July 6th, is the 4th year that the Business Zone has been on the air. It's our anniversary.
Oh, man,
so that's one reason
this is a major milestone for us.
Yes, that's why I was emphatic that we had to get back on the air so that we would be already in movement by the time we get up to our anniversary.
Yes, definitely. I'm very
and
excited
it's
about it.
important.
Definitely. I'm very excited about it.
Yeah.
Maybe we
So
should get a
everyone,
mirror
we
on
want
the
to
show
thank
for
you
that day.
We
guys.
should get a mirror on the show for that day.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's a couple questions. He just came up with some money that he's going to direct to peaceful what is it? Funds for those that have been involved in unpeaceful discrimination. I don't know what that means, but yeah, that could be a call to have him to come on the show to explain exactly. Does everybody get the money? How does that work?
Exactly
I want to know how
is.
that works.
That's exactly what it is.
But we want to thank all
guys,
our
we want to
listeners
thank
for tuning
you
in
for
today and rejoining us. This has been phenomenal. This is the Business Zone with Crystal and Gilbert. And we're on every Friday from 3 to 4.
Every Friday from 3 to 4.
And
From 3 to
Crystal,
4
take
on
us away.
YouTube
Cue the music.
Take us away. Cue the music.
Okay, and Linda says, oh, I gotta find the music again. Linda says that her show is on Facebook. She's a Facebook Live show. So let me see, Gilbert. Let me find the music. It left me, but let me see if I can find it back.
Okay.
We'll work out all these difficulties, guys. Just hang on. I'm gonna put the screen on Gilbert while I go find the music.
So while Crystal is finding the music, I just want to remind you guys that we are here to help you. So if there's anything you need, please give me a call and reach out to me, Gilbert Buchanan, and we will help you. Gilbert at the BuchananGroup.net. See you next week. Crystal and Gilbert.
Bye-bye, everyone.